shocking news and what happened this week. Historically speaking, this is the first time three East African countries will jointly host the African Cup of Nations in 2027, and the countries involved are Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. The Confederation of African Football (CAF) dropped the news on Wednesday, and the decision came after Algeria withdrew its bid to host the event. I already see the jokes coming from fellow Africans whose countries single-handedly hosted the event in the past. I never thought this day will ever come, but let me tell you, I am not Kenyan, nor Uganda, nor Tanzanian. We just happen to be in the same East African community together, so please take it to them. The only reason why three countries teamed up to place a bid is because only Kenya and Tanzania have one international standard venue each, and Uganda doesn't. They understood there was strength in unity. So regarding the event itself, it's like taking someone on a date to the cinema, restaurant, walks on the beach barefoot and all that nonsense, only for that person to end up marrying someone else. In fact, in my village they say, you are carrying the drum for someone else to beat. Because let's be honest, this cup won't stay in East Africa. I mean, we are not known for football. However, we'll be there for vibes and enjoyment. Somaliland has rejected Uganda's offer to mediate talk with Somalia on reunification. The country's foreign affairs minister stated it would only discuss with Mogadishu on how to coexist as separate states and not as part of Somalia. Listen, once you've tasted freedom, it's hard to go back to what used to be. Somaliland declared independence in 1991, but the country has not been recognized by the world. I mean, considering the world we now live in, who cares about what Jaru thinks? Somaliland is the motivational speaker of countries, believing in itself no matter what the world think. According to reports, President Museveni said, and I quote, "Somaliland's secession has frustrated efforts to build a strong and prosperous Somali state." Basically, in diplomatic terms, President Museveni called Somaliland the enemies of progress. In Burkina Faso on Friday, September 30th, during an interview on the state television, the transitional president, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, when asked about the elections, declared, "It is not a priority, let's be clear about it. It's the security that's the priorities. There won't be an election that is only concentrated in Ouaga as in Ouagadougou and Bobo as in Bobo Dioulasso and other nearby towns. The people of Burkina Faso must choose their president. Those who are campaigning must be able to go everywhere in Burkina Faso." Well, I've paraphrased this just to make sure you grasp the main point. I've also checked the various media outlets, and it's funny how they're all focusing on the potential that the constitution might be changed and that the elections might not take place in July 2024. They are all pushing the agenda that power must return to civilians, which I agree with. But how fair will the election be if everybody in Burkina Faso cannot vote? However, they've not addressed the part of the interview where he said his country bought weapons to be able to defend their territory, but some imperialist countries, one in particular, put pressure on neighboring countries not to release their purchase for weeks and months. And that's exactly what Burkina Faso Minister of State, Mr. Bazolma Bazi, exposed at the UN General Assembly. But according to this video, which took place a few days after his speech at the UN, the minister declared he was now informed that their purchases were now being released. You see, after rising to the highest seat in the country, Captain Ibrahim Traoré gave himself 2 to 3 months to solve the security problem and leave power. But it's now been a year. Why? I mean, he said that the same countries who are pushing for the elections are the same countries preventing Burkina Faso to be able to defend itself, stating that he was shocked to find that the country didn't even have 200 Kalashnikov in reserve to defend itself. Listen, if I tie your hands behind your back in an unsafe location, then my presence next to you is fully justified because your security can only be guaranteed by me. I am led to believe that this is what justified French troops in Burkina Faso. This also explains why these foreign elites were confident in saying, if French troops leave Burkina Faso, the security situation will worsen. No wonder. Namibia has stopped importing live poultry, eggs and meat from South Africa due to a surge of a deadly bird flu cases. The ban is effective immediately and will last until further notice, Namibia's Agriculture Ministry announced. South Africa, one of the continent's major poultry producer, has been battling these two strains of the virus since April. It has already killed millions of chicken in South Africa this year, and there is a fear it could also affect humans. Experts say this is the worst bird flu outbreak ever recorded. South Africa is Namibia's preferred poultry supplier, but they also import from South America and Europe. I hope South Africa will solve this crisis soon because the end of the year is coming fast. We don't want vegans and vegetarians to walk around with the same cockiness that conspiracy theorists had when people were told they needed one shot, then two shots, then a booster shot, and then told after they've done all that, their protection would only work if everybody went through the same process. In other words, it's raining, you buy an umbrella to protect yourself from the rain, but for your umbrella to protect you from the rain, everybody in the street must buy an umbrella. Yeah. According to French official sources, the stubborn French ambassador in Niger has returned to Paris, La France, the home of croissant. Apparently, he left the capital city Niamey at 4 a.m. with 6 colleagues, but listen, I'm starting to believe the theory that said he had already left the country a long time ago and they were just pretending he was still in the country. How come we didn't see any heroic picture of him with his fist up, like a child who finally decided to leave his bedroom after throwing tantrums because he was asked to clean his bedroom? Where was TMZ to show us videos of him walking to enter the plane? Anyways, now the people in Niger are eagerly waiting for French troops to leave their territory. I'm pretty sure these soldiers are also looking forward to be reunited with their family, unless they are part of the French Foreign Legion. That's a topic for another time. I don't know who comes up with this nonsense, but apparently today, October 1st, is the International Coffee Day. To me, International Coffee Day is every day and everywhere I am, and today I am celebrating Ethiopian coffee. Yesterday was Brazilian coffee and the day before was Kenyan coffee. I mean, you get the idea. They should just stop playing around with all this nonsense and get with the program. But to those of you who need a day and permission to celebrate something, happy coffee day to all of you. Try and mix it with mandazi. If it's your first time interacting with my content, I would like to welcome you and let you know that I have a podcast on YouTube full of non-political stories. You can find it in the podcast sections of the channel. I also have a book of Proverbs which you can access through the link below. Moreover, I create fire content that speaks for itself. Please check out my catalog and thank you for your time.
We, ni nini?